Yeah, we back. Turn it up just a little.
Good day, everybody. My name is Red Earth, and today we are showcasing another attempt at a deck. It's another rogue list I brewed up. Was inspired by somebody in the Discord trying to put together an Impact Tremors version of Red, so this is my attempt at it. We're heavily utilizing tokens and the Mobilize mechanic. For some cheap interaction, we've got Burst Lightning here. It should be pretty straightforward. It can help finish the opponent off or help kill some early game stuff. Stadium Headliner. We could both sacrifice this with some units in play in order to kill a threat. Otherwise, it's a 1 mana, can deal 2 damage early game, plus it gets us multiple triggers off our Impact Tremors. Voice of Victory. I'm sure you're no stranger to this card, but it's a 1/3 that can put 2 tokens in a play, prevents your opponent from interacting on your turn, all good stuff. Impact Tremors. So this is what the deck is built around. Whenever a creature you control enters, deals a damage to each opponent. So either with one or multiple of these token effects start dealing a lot of direct damage and chipping away at the opponent. So all these tokens end up going much further value than what they initially present, because there's a couple ways to gain value off of tokens. Use anthem effects, increase their power, and in this case, we're just dealing direct damage with them. So them being temporary doesn't matter so much, because the moment they show up, they hit them, and they're still attacking. So if they ignore them, they're taking additional damage, etc. What we have here is Shocking Sharpshooter. So it's a 1/3 reach, probably seems more like limited chaff, but it still has the impacted tremors text. So it gives us a little bit of redundancy. It's another creature, which will also trigger impact tremors itself. So with 8 of these effects, it's really where we're trying to take advantage of this list's direct damage, just chipping away at people. A card that I've seen opponents play and I've been pretty impressed by is the Pack Beast. It's a 0/4 Vigilance, so it's kind of difficult to wrangle with in combat to take down. But then every time it attacks, you generate 3 come into play triggers. I'm sure this card might have more life in it than it looks in this format. It's just underutilized, but yeah, no, super interesting card. So not only are we going to get 3 attacking units, so it's kind of like a 3/4 for 3, but it's also going to trigger all the impact tremors effects, which is cool. In older lists of mine, I've used Ajani, and I really liked him there. So I'm having it both as a token creator and a piece of interaction. One thing my decks often lack is ways to interact with the opponent. I'm trying to rectify this with the way that I'm building this list. All Fates Stalker. This is a card I used a lot back even before I was making videos, but it's a 4 mana 2/3 that you can warp for 2, and then you can exile something that isn't itself to stop infinite loops from happening. But what you do is you exile an opponent's creature. It's very easy to drop down for 2 to get rid of blockers, so that way these smaller creatures that aren't buffed, so that way they can get in. It also triggers your impact tremors. Also, it's a 4 mana Oblivion Ring effect as long as it's in play. Now, obviously, you can kill it in combat and get the creature back, and that would be a huge pain in the ass, but it gives us a main deck way to deal with Void, sort of. So yeah, another piece of interaction that's also a creature triggers these things. So hopefully that's gonna do its job. I was always impressed by this card when I played it before. Um, Once again, seems like more draft chaff, but we're scraping the bottom of the barrel before the Strixhaven format comes in, so we're seeing what works. We're playing a couple of heroic reinforcements. This doesn't have complete synergy in our deck because it doesn't hit any of the mobilized guys with the +1/+1. But what it does do is it puts a couple of tokens into play. It does buff up all of our attackers. So, for example, if they have a 4 power creature, hopefully now the pack beasts can get in. If they have a 3-power creature, hopefully Voice of Victory can get in, etc., etc. And put some permanent tokens into play, which the deck isn't great at doing. So if we just got Wrathed, for example, somebody uses Day of Judgment, it's sort of pay 4 to deal 4 damage and leave 2 tokens behind, not counting any triggers. So that's kind of the idea of it. It's just something to play on curve on 4 to keep the pressure up. Not sure how it's going to work, but, you know, got a couple of these in here. Then we also have Catharsis. So this is probably almost always going to be played for the white-white mode because it's both difficult for this deck to get up to 6 mana. But when you do, you get 3 come into play triggers for your Tremors, and you leave behind 2 tokens, which is pretty good. You also have the ability for red to get the heroic reinforcements buff, where you give everything +1/+1 in haste. Once again, not working on the mobilized creatures. That's not really, or the mobilized tokens, but that's not what you're really playing it for. And if you do manage to get it up to 6, attacking with a bunch of huge bodies, not a bunch of huge bodies, so to speak, but a 4/5 and a couple of 1/1s. Leaving all of those tokens in play plus whatever triggers you're getting seems pretty okay. So I've never seen anybody really play Catharsis, and that's another reason that I'm trying this out in the deck. Most of the Evoke Elementals seem pretty good, and so I'm trying to give this one its day in the sun. For the mana base, it's pretty straightforward. We've got 23 lands, not my 25 land special. Got some Verges, some Foundries. We've got a single Quarry Mountain Mastery, in case I just happen to draw it. But more importantly, we got the Dalkovin encampments. I think that's Dalkovin. So paying 3 and tapping it. So for 4 mana, essentially, as long as I attack with something, I can put 2 effective mobilized tokens into play. So once again, it's hard to block the Swarm, and it gives us more impact triggers or Tremors to keep getting reach. So we're kind of just like trying to be a reach deck before the opponent can really get online. We're just like puking stuff into play and hoping that we overwhelm them and that the removal is going to be not as efficient as it would be. I mean, a lot of these things can still be taken down 1 for 1, but it's just the sheer swarm of dudes, plus the free triggers. Impact Tremors alone is pretty hard to interact with. Not a lot of people have Enchantment Destroy, unless they're playing Elementals, which is starting to fall out of favor. And yeah, we're just chipping in, getting damage where we can. The sideboard, I didn't think too hard about it, because this is just a random weekly, but we got some Squelchers. I can side these in. I'm not sure what I'd take out for them, but put them in, stop anybody from countering our stuff or targeting our stuff. So this is like for control. I've got Sears and Emergency Ejects. This is mostly for like the if I really have to remove stuff like Ouroboros, if somebody's better at being on the board, then I have to kind of switch up the game plan. I'll probably cut some reinforcements and such, and then I'll be trying to chip them out incidentally with the Tremors rather than being hyper aggressive. So switching to a more mid-range build, but Boyd has to die on site. If it doesn't, then we fold like a wet blanket. So that's the plan for these. I don't really care that they get the lander token. This also lets us target all sorts of random things. So I'm not sure how good or bad Emergency Eject is going to be, but we certainly don't care if they're ramping because we're more of the aggressive focused build. And then if the matchup goes slow and for like control style decks, if we manage to stick Kin Binding, this card is super powerful, gets into play. We don't have a lot of plans to get up to 5 mana, but if we manage to put it into play, like dropping a Catharsis, attacking with anything, even just like the Evoke trigger, +3/+3, plus the Kin Bindings trigger itself, that's +4/+4 to everything. That's humongous. So kin binding is super good at closing out a game if you can keep some stuff in play. But yeah, so that's the game plan of the deck. We'll see you guys in the next round, and we'll see how we do with this list. Take care. All right. I forgot to click record for this match, so I'm sorry about that, everybody. We were fighting Oseros. So they are playing a Mardu version of their list. And so our decks are kind of similar, although they're diverging by playing Seam Rips, Halias, Elspeths, and then the 4 mana destroy any permanent spell and make me lose 3 life. My deck is more trimmed to just be Boros, which is more consistent but significantly less powerful, it seems. So what happened game 1 is that things were pretty even. I was looking pretty ahead. I was about to do Catharsis into Catharsis at 6 mana, but they played an Elspeth and they played their own Catharsis and then made a bajillion tokens and one-shot me. Game 2, they got mana screwed. It took them like 4 or 5 turns looking, even with multiple double scry triggers off their 1-drops, and they couldn't find their land, and I ended up killing them with a kin binding. And then game 3 here, they got a turn 3 Halia with their Voice of Victory, and they've just been drawing cards like crazy. And gaining a ton of life, and they Seam Ripped my Impact Tremors, and I was behind. So I went Pack Beasts into these 2. A double mulligan also didn't help this match. And then they just cast an Elspeth, and I conceded. So that was this match in a nutshell. Alright, I'll catch you guys in the next round. Hopefully this time I'll actually click record. See you then. Alright, welcome to round 2. This time I have actually clicked record. We are currently 0-1, facing Willow 13. This hand is a little too land heavy for me. I'll keep this, I suppose. And I will throw back Inkle Sacred Foundry, and then I can play Plains or Island, Swamp or Mountain. I'll throw back a Verge. Molt, just doing some milling stuff. Their deck box had something with a lot of bees that look like. I have no idea what that card would be. Destroyed my 1-drop, sure. Play this guy. Voice of Victory. Welcome to the team. Doing some dredging. Moon Shadow. Turn target creature or artifact. So maybe they're doing some sort of reanimation nonsense beyond the another one. That's nice. Must be nice. Okay. Well, we will. Some dudes in the play. We'll put a dude into play. We haven't seen any high end except 3 mana, or the 5 mana 3/3 destroy target artifact and enchantment dragon. So far, it's all just dredge value. Blocking with Molt Tender is not that great for them, so this is a good opportunity to do this. Up. Deadly Brew. I think this is the card that I saw, perhaps. Wait, is this... what set is that from? Deadly Brew. This card is not legal, my friend. Didn't know that was a reprint, but yeah, we'll see how this gets resolved. We will. Alchemy Brawl, Commander, Historic, Legacy, Modern, Pioneer, Standard. Oh, yeah. We will cast this. In we go. So they're trying to Loo-in me. So, this guy has to be dead and stay dead forever. Burst Lightning doesn't quite do it. It does let me kill the Molt Tenders. Moon Shadows. Moon Shadows get too big for Burst Lightning quite quickly. Sears might be more correct, because they hit, they hit bigger Moon Shadows in that, Worm Harvest card. Tharsis, Voice of Victory, Heroic Reinforcements. Keep. Put the Foundry into play tapped. Another one of these. Bad guy. Not a problem right now. Well, there's the bees card. Each artifact or creature card in your graveyard. Whenever another insect you control dies, put a 1/1 counter. Okay, so that's what they're trying to do. Put this into play. What a time to not have graveyard interaction. But yeah, when they played that mutual sacrifice card from Strixhaven, I guess it got reprinted in Foundations. Thought I saw it in the spoiler for it. Yeah, this one. Playing both arts. Extra confusing. You sacrificed your homeboy. Oh, you have to keep the malt tenders cooking. I see. Another voice of victory. So much milling. But yeah, if he ever gets one of those insect dorks into play, I'll be in trouble. So that thing needs 5. Can only make a few tokens, so that's probably not what he's going to be doing. Resurrecting the insect maker is likely high up on their list. So I'll save the All Fates Stalker for that. They also don't need to rush doing that. I think we'll just get in our chip damage. I'll play a Pack Beasts. Yep. Lots of bugs. Brap. Okay. So even if I exile that, still do some pretty big blocking. Thing is, if I remove it now, then he just gets it back. That'll suck, but maybe I just have to play as if he can't do that. If he kills the stalker, I'm cooked. But getting that creature into play in the first place is already really, yeah, bad for me. Well, I like his board state more than mine. You can pump your friend. How do I ever get out from under this boot? I can't, right? Like, yeah, we'll just concede this one. Dragon is the Brute Heart engine. Yeah. So the reinforcement reinforcements. That's earlier pressure, but maybe that's the way up. Ajani's good. Definitely keeping Ajani. Sears probably still fine. I think I want the kin binding so I have like some way to survive if he starts going like super tall. Which means I'll probably pull out these reinforcements, and the Stalker isn't amazing removal in this matchup. Ugh, that top end card. It's such a nightmare for me. We'll play. More than that. I guess we'll keep this. Throw back a mountain. Put that in play too. Put a voice into play. Sure. Molt Tender. Keeping the Molt Tender. Alright. That's it. Pop. Put a Pack Beast into play. Are you mana stuck, my friend? No, you're not. Alright, interesting way to tap. Now you can't play a Molt Tender unless you're death marking me. I see. Well, that seems pretty good. I'm now out of stuff. Tremors, go! I can sear something. Sure. Get rid of that. Put this into play untapped so I can Monastery at the end of their turn. Goodbye, Deathmark. Hello, other Molt Tender. Another one of these guys. So much graveyard hate. So much graveyard stuff. Okay, Pack Beast isn't. Not unhappy to see that. I guess I'll sear you now. Goodbye, Tremors. Oh. All right. Kin binding. Do your thing, my friend. Should kin binding be in the main? This is quite the interaction. Man, this is something. Oh, goodbye, kin binding. Never mind. Hello, kin binding. It's a lot of bugs. Everybody's getting blocked. Except for one. Alright. Well, you've got 2 blockers to get through and 1 more damage, or you have to sweep me. Okay, that's half of the battle. No, I'll probably block you. Alright. On to the next round. Alright, everybody, welcome to round 3. We are currently 1-1 playing against Ultra. Got a Requiting Hex on their deck box, so I expect my 2 drops aren't long for this world. But, yeah, outside of that, that's all I can glean. I'll keep this hand, it seems okay. Good, that's right. Well, we'll just, so the red-black, maybe they're goblins? I'm not sure. I'm just gonna get rid of that. Oxide. Okay. Interesting. We'll put them on the removal plan if they got it. Owl squad heavy. Yeah, we'll block that. What I'm going to do is I'll put a sharpshooter into play. So it looks like they are just super heavy goblins with mock sight. Some removal. So the sharpshooter could block the token. Either way, the boys are back in town, as they say. Ship them. So 3 token triggers. I've got another Impact Tremors. I could play an All-Faith Stalker. What do they got cooking? Hasty Goblin with Menace, sure. That is less attractive. Someone's getting blighted. Interesting. I'm certainly blocking. Just what is the question? Red, black, red, black. Doesn't matter which one it looks like. So I'm getting bled like a stuck pig. I think due to mana considerations, I'm gonna play... What do I play? I think what I'll do is I'll put an Impact Tremors into play. It's either that or Reinforcements. If I put Reinforcements into play, I do put some damage in. We're gonna go Tremors. And we're gonna consume a Goblin. Some incidental damage in. And the fun thing with all these triggers is that theoretically, just by attacking, if they don't remove all the Impact Tremors, or just by putting stuff into play, they'll never get the opportunity to block with Goblin tokens. So they can't gain the life off their own triggers. So we'll see what they got with 4 mana. Moxite, that's not the best. We're doing some digging. Alright, we got game 1. Burst Lightning seems okay. All Fate's Stalker seems... deals with Howl Squad heavy. Only seen small guys, though. Maybe they probably have that 6/6, or at least the yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe All Fates is still fine. Don't know how to complete my thoughts here because I don't know what they've got. They either got probably the high end where they got the Kindred spell, or the 4 mana champion creature. They probably don't have a lot of blocking. They probably have a decent amount of removal. Probably get rid of heroic reinforcements. Killing that 3-drop seems important. And we'll see if I have to go higher with kin bindings. We'll keep this as is. Okay, that's not nothing. Do I keep a hand with 2 3-drops and no action? I think I don't. Well, I would have kept the other hand over this one. Aha! Alright, well, we're keeping this. Jesus. 1, 2, 3, I guess. Yeah. I'd rather have white. Tapped. You got a curse, awesome. He's definitely playing that next turn, so I'll just keep my mana untapped. Sear it down. Yep. There's our boy. Take 2. I don't really want any of my guys to die to that, so we'll just kill this down. not like I'm kicking that anytime soon. It's not going to kill the Howl Squad if he plays another one, so... We'll put this into play. Doesn't die to Hex. Doesn't die to most burn spells. The fact it didn't die at end of turn, that's me. I feel like I made the right choice, perhaps. Impact Tremors. What is going on in their hand? Maybe they got the Kindred spells? The Hex, maybe? I don't know what's going on over there. 6 mana. Let's put... Yeah, let's put this into play. See what they do. Oh. The rest of my turn is chug along nicely. Turn. Could I have killed them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Could have got close. If this resolves, they're dead. Yeah. Alright, see you in the next round. Alright, our opponent here is Greywell. They've got a Star Cage as their deck box. Uh-oh, another bad hand. Uh-oh. Not to say that we can't beat a Star Cage, especially with the, get rid of this. I want to keep the Tremors, but it might be too all into a Wrath effect. Catharsis. Although we can't beat a Star Cage with that 3 mana removal spell, but this might be a little rough, so to speak, especially with the double. Start charting. Yeah, that's not good. Alright, well, it looks like game 1 is probably a wash. Okay. Well, not without cards we can play, and they're unable to interact on my turn, which is nice.
I can help you find the path.
Put Najani into play. It's not nothing. Goodbye, my voice. How do I want to do this? Probably we'll put a Tremors into play.
My allies stand strong.
Target creature, so it can't hit Star Cage. Make token, see what happens. You are destroying my artifact or enchantment. Okay.
Stand by my side, friend.
I guess we'll try to apply more pressure here. We can probably counter it. In I go. Drawing some cards. Discarding another. Pyrrhic Strike. Put this guy into play. another token. Attack, and my turn. Putting in a Riddler, then Day of Judgment. Sure. Yeah, interesting ordering there. You can see where the oops comes from. Probably pass the turn here. Let's see what happens. Because now Ajani's threatening to ult. No, Ajani is no longer threatening to ult.
One step in the strategy. My insight is vital to success.
So we can do 1, 2. You're also emoting a lot. Put a token in play. I can attack for 5. It's not crazy. It's not nothing. Don't really want to cast these other things. I'm kind of on the losing front to the Ugin life gain situation. I'm not drawing lands for Catharsis. Stalker doesn't seem to do anything until he sticks a Riddler. I'm not shocking anything, so I guess we'll just do this. Yep. Certainly don't think I'm going to be able to beat the combination of those. But I suppose I'll try. Okay, I'm good to call up there. Alright, spells you control can't be countered, so heroic reinforcements isn't bad. Stalker, actually, get back in there. Burst lightnings aren't amazing here. Squelchers are probably better. Emergency eject. And is Catharsis better than Kin Binding? I don't think so. I think I'm going to replace these with the Kin Bindings. Because going low into the into just getting Day of Judgment, it does not sound that great. Kin Binding can get erased by a lot of his threats, but is Kin Binding that much better? Multiple Pyrrhic strikes. Well, Fate Stalker's not that good. Maybe put one of these back in. I don't know. Hopefully I don't double mulligan. We'll start with that. See where it takes us. Play first. Okay, these are cards and things and things and cards. I control a mountain. I don't think I want to play the Hexing Sculpture into the probable Pinnacle Starcage, so I'm just going to soften them up a bit. Pinnacle Starcage. There's our boy. Cool. Let's play a Pack Beast. Where that gets me. Eric Strike? Oh. Play a Squelcher. Let's see if I get wrapped. High chance of getting wrathed. Yep. Maybe I should have activated the encampment. Oh. Yeah, I don't think I'm beating this. Good old control. All the rivers. Yeah. And I'll put that into play and then can buy one of those. Sure. Why not? I'm just gonna say, I don't like our odds.
I welcome all allies.
Classic weekly 2-2. I mean, that's not nothing. It can't be countered either. Okay. I don't know. Send them all there. Fuck it. Get some of these tokens off the board. Oh, yeah, you can just do that, eh? You had 4 things. Headliner, Sharpshooter. Oh, you get double the tokens because of a Elspeth. I see. Pretty strong. Name a more iconic duo, me and losing to Elspeth. I guess me and losing to Hive Pool. Cool. Good game. Alright. See you in the postmortem. Alright, everybody. We went 2-2, which is, alright. I mean, we got kind of lucky in round... I think it was round 2 when I had the mull. Whenever I fought the goblins list, when I mulled down to 4, and, managed to pull off the win regardless, so that was pretty lucky. So some things that I liked about this deck. Voice of Victory, Pack Beasts. Ajani was decent when I played him. Catharsis was alright. But whenever I had the kin binding in play, oh baby, that was something. That was quite the game. And makes me feel like maybe that's a direction worth pursuing. I'm not 100% sure. Heroic Reinforcements, it was alright. It wasn't like mind blowing or anything, but putting a couple tokens into play, giving haste to stuff was decent. But I found myself siding it out a bunch. Let's see, what else? Stadium Headliner was okay. We tended to get a lot of our stuff removed early game, which is, I guess, par for the course. Maybe having some sort of card reach, like any of those. Remove the top card of your deck, and then you can play the card from exile cards like Quarry Mountain. Maybe some of those effects might be worth considering. And the Tremors was doing the Tremor stuff. I enjoyed that. So there might be something there, maybe with different directions, like Sear Slicer Goblin, or Goblin. Where is he? Got to turn on more sets. Bang, 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 bang. Yeah, Sear Slicer Goblin, so you can probably put that in, or the Hal Squad Heavy, this guy. As a different way to put tokens in, so instead of doing bursts of tokens, you can have more consistent trickle. There was another one, actually, it's still a Goblin, but Frontline Rush, somebody suggested to me this could be pretty interesting, not only as a flash way to put some tokens in it in a turn, but also you can hold priority with Catharsis and get a big buff on somebody or something like that. Windcrag Siege is also a potential thing to look at, because you can just every turn create a token and then or double your mobilize triggers. Both of those are kind of interesting. There's a couple directions you can go. I'm not sure what the correct way to go with the deck, but there was some powerful stuff. Catharsis was decent. It wasn't like, I don't think it's the best Evoke Elemental in the format, but casting it on 6 was pretty decent. The times that I could do it. Emergency Eject was okay. I'm not sure if that or the Pyrrhic Strike card that one of my last opponent played against me. Where is it? Pyrrhic Strike. This card could definitely be a contender as a good sideboard card, because it can both deal with Void and artifacts and enchantments. It's slightly expensive for costing 3, but something certainly worth considering. Hexing Squelcher was good for being uncounterable, but it doesn't really deal with the whole you're going to get Day of Judgmented problem. So I'm not sure how to get around that with this list. Maybe it's just like the enchantment and like Planeswalker ways of generating tokens, although it's less explosive. Maybe that's the direction to head, I'm not sure. Either way, this list was fun to play. I'm still not the most aggro player out there, but putting creatures into play and turning them sideways can be fun. And it was nice to experiment with yet another archetype that's probably fairly underexplored in the format before Strixhaven comes out. Hopefully we get some new tools with the new set and see what we can brew up then. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.